Hey YouTube, it's Michelada G up in the building for today's video. As you can tell from the title, I'm finally ready to talk about the way I grew up and who I really am. My name is Michelle Gayton, and I am the firstborn American daughter to my Mexican parents. My parents came from Colima, Mexico. They came here with my dad's mom, and they already had my older sister. And I think she was like 2 years old when they brought her over here. It really is that my life really is that way. And in the family, my older sibling is from Mexico. She is Mexican. And then it's me and my younger brother, and we are Americans. And so it's just insane, like the way we grew up and the way our cousins grew up and everything. I do identify myself more. I do identify more as American than Mexican. I'm first generation. I've always ran away from that because I just never understood like the responsibilities. I didn't understand the greatness. Like I just didn't understand whatsoever. I didn't get it. And so I what am I gonna try to say? Yeah, like I'm Mexican. I'm so Mexican that like at the house my parents would speak Spanish to me all the time, and so I grew up speaking Spanish, and eventually in school I would have to be taken away from the other kids, and I would be pulled away from the other classes and stuff because I spoke Spanish. My first language is Spanish, and so they would have to teach me, and they would have to hold up flashcards, and they would have to show, like they would have to like teach me English and show me English. So yeah, in the way I grew up, I spoke Spanish all day, every day in the house, and then outside with your friends or with my. I'm like remembering what my mom used to say to me. She was like, "En la casa me hablas español. Allá afuera puedes hablar inglés que tú quieres. Pero aquí me vas a respetar y me vas a hablar en español." Because I would literally do that weird stuff where eventually I became of age and I was like, I don't want to speak Spanish. I want to speak English. Like, English is the language out here. And my mom was like, dude, that's such a slap to my mom's face. And I would say it. I would exactly how I said that. I said that. My mom was like, well, in my house, you're gonna speak to me in Spanish. Like, ooh, I don't know what they're telling you in school. I don't know what they're trying to teach you out there, like outside world. But you speak Spanish to me, and you're gonna speak Spanish in the house, okay? And I'm like, okay. And so and so I'm like, okay, like whatever. And then I'm so Mexican that it's just like it's not even I'm so Mexican, but um growing up Mexican American, mi mamá nos llevaba a la tienda mexicana, a la carnicería or like whatever it is, and so ella compraba sus cosas que ella ocupaba, los chiles, and not even just that. It wasn't just that. It was I honestly have memories of my mom buying the cards. There's these cards that you buy, and it was like way in the early 2000s. This is way before WhatsApp and all that stuff. So and for like and like literally like Latinos made WhatsApp famous. Like don't even argue with me right now. And so my mom would literally mandar dinero a su país, like to her family. She would send money, and she would call up her family members with the card. I remember like like buying minutes on the card to speak to my aunt in Mexico. My mom does have one brother and one sister out there, and you know it's always been a gap between us. And I've been back to Mexico. I'm just so like hold on. I've been to Mexico. My first time going to Mexico was when I was 7 years old, and it was a reality wake up call. It was a wake up call. I saw where my mom was from, and it was pretty interesting. And so Yeah. My dad first came to the US when he was 17. No, we're not talking about my dad. All right, then. So, yeah. Okay, so growing up Mexican American, I also struggled a lot with identity. I still do. That's why I'm making this video because I got done talking to a friend of mine and we were just talking about how hard it is being Mexican American. I'm literally too white for the Mexicans and I'm too Mexican for the whites. I've never fit in. Um I've always like literally like the last time I hanged out with like a friend of mine that I was catching up with, she is more Mexican than me. She literally is from Mexico. She was born out there, and I never knew that about her until I caught up with her, and she is more Mexican. And some was before the pandemic. I had her in my car, and we were just cruising. We were just like chilling, whatever or whatever. And then I'm playing music. I'm playing whatever music I'm playing in my car, and then she was like, "Why don't you play our music?" And I was like, "Our music? What are you talking about?" And she was like, "Yeah, play our music, like the Mexican music, the Spanish music, like tú sabes." And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, oh damn. I was like, "Oh damn." I was like, damn. I was like literally like I was like I haven't listened to I don't like I haven't tapped in like literally I haven't tuned into like Spanish music. I left Spanish music when I was 17 years old. Like I literally left it behind because I don't know why. I guess I literally left my Mexican side behind and then adopted my white side. Like I just took it overall because I had to hang out more with it was awkward. I had to hang out more with white people, you know? Like I literally was trying to make a living for myself, and in order to do better for myself, I had to really like fix like polish up, like I had to literally polish up my skills and my language and what I could do to move forward. And it's just so awkward, like you know, like it's just there's nothing. Every like literally yesterday I was working and these white people were so nice to me, but I clean up my language. I literally like don't talk like how I talk right now. I clean up my language. I clean up the tone. I don't even look like this. I don't have what I have on right now. I look a little different. And so just to make white people comfortable. I really do. I do that all the time, every day. I do it all the time. I make myself more white to make the white people more comfortable. Literally, like I was catching up with this with a friend of mine, and she was telling me she was like, they would. I've seen I've seen third generations and fourth generation Mexican families. They act and live life so differently than like my generation family, and she is first generation. And I was like, whoa, like, dude, you noticed that? I noticed that too. Like, I literally stayed with a family, and they're like two generations in. Like, they lived in California, and they actually didn't speak Spanish. And like, I was like, oh, no hablas español? Like, that's a little different. And then, like, they don't care about their kids. Like, they literally don't care about their kids. They don't care. They're not strict. They they don't come in to say goodnight or like nothing like that. It's pretty interesting. I was like, huh, like literally like their daughter, which was my friend, she would tell her parents, she'll be like, hey, I'm gonna go out for she would literally say, I'm gonna go out for tonight, and and like literally they wouldn't ask anything of anything, nothing. They would just be like, okay, have a good time. Like I was like literally I replayed it in my head. All she said was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go out tonight. I'll be back like later tonight, or I'll be back tomorrow." I don't know what she would say. I'll be back sometime or something like that. And they wouldn't ask anything. They'll just be like, "Okay, I'll see you. Be careful," or something. Like it was fine. Like it was literally fine. And then meanwhile, if I like, oh hell no, I wasn't allowed to go. I was trying to say like, if I wanted to go out, no, just shut the fuck up. Like, I wasn't allowed to go outside. I wasn't allowed to go outside, dude. Like, oh my god, I was not allowed to go outside. Oh my God. I remember it was a real problem for me because on my side of I call it my side of the field. On my side of the playing field, my parents had a business. And so we would always. So my parents have a business, and ever since I was literally the age of 10, I started translating documents like from the bank, from the doctors. My mom and dad would take me to the doctors with them. They would take me to the bank, they would take me to the store, they would take me wherever they needed to go, and I would translate for them. If it wasn't for me, if it wasn't me, it was my older sister, and if my older sister wasn't available, it was me. So literally me and my older sister were their secretary, their translator. I have typed out invoices for my mom. I've literally typed out people think uh, I'm I'm not talking shit. Like, I wish I was talking shit, but I'm not. People think that my parents, like, if like I've literally helped them out with everything. And so like right now with this video, people would think that, oh, like my employee is texting, like your employee, which is my mom, she's texting me telling me all these things and stuff like that. It's not my mom, it's me. It's me pretending to be my mom, texting her boss, texting her clients, texting her, like texting the people in English, like, oh hi, like invoices. It's not my mom, it's me. Me leaving the voicemail for the doctor and stuff like that, it's not my mom, it's me. And then just yesterday, not yesterday, but a couple of days ago, the Wi-Fi kept crashing down at my dad's house, and my dad wasn't understanding something that the guy was saying. So he's like, he literally says the words, hold on, let me pass the phone to my son. I'm not understanding what you're saying. And so like literally like, hello, hello, and then like hello, blah blah blah. And like I had to go to therapy about this because it's just kind of weird, like, like I didn't understand why. I literally had a lot of problems inside my chest. I had a lot of like feelings and a lot of like weird stuff like inside of me. And I literally said, like, I told my therapist, I was like, I never understood my parents. Like, I they had me work. They had me like take care of my brother. They had me like it was like all of these things. Like it was like I like at the age of 12 and forward, like 12, 14, 15, 16 and 17, like I literally did all of these things that an adult would do. But when it was time for me to just, I wanted to just do things that people my age were doing, that it's just normal to do. Like it's normal for me to go to the mall for 2 hours and just like hang out there like with my friends. It's normal, like it's okay to go do that. I wasn't allowed to go outside. I wasn't allowed to do anything like that. And so my it's unfortunate because of my feelings, but like what my therapist told me, she literally said the words. She was like, with a lot of immigrant families, the child becomes the parent and the parent becomes the child. And when she said that, it really like messed me up as a person because I just like literally, like, my dad would call me mom or mama or mami or mami, no te enojes conmigo. Like he'll like, it's embarrassing, but it is what it is. I would get mad at my dad. I would like literally like I'm like living my life at like 13 or whatever. I'm like trying to do like I'm trying to like, I just came home from school. I'm doing my homework and stuff like that. I have like 2 hours to finally like watch TV for myself. And my dad would be like, ¿me puedes ayudar con este texto? ¿Me ayudas con esto? Or ¿me puedes ayudar con? And I'll be like, dude, it's just like so simple. Like you just say this or something like that. And it's so embarrassing because I would like get mad at him, or like literally he was like, dude, it's so hard. Like it's so bad. Like the new phones were coming out, like the touch screens and stuff like that. Like my parents went from flip phones and now they're like on touch screens and stuff like that. So it's hard. And then like every 2 years and stuff like that, you get a brand new phone. And so, it's just all these, oh, y quiere que lo cambie a español, like the settings and stuff like that, they have to be switched to Spanish because he just doesn't get it. Like I'm not gonna be hanging out with a phone that's in English. And so like those type of things will like just like irk me and like drive me to the edge. And like he'll like him and my mom, like with different things, they'll be like, mami, no te enojes conmigo, like, mom, no, porque me hablas así, or like, oh, por favor, yo nomás quería tu ayuda, yo no te quería molestar, or something like that. And it's just so embarrassing because I won't my child would not suffer like that. Like, literally, like, try to play me dumb. Like, oh my god. I used to literally, like, I took advantage of my dad growing up. I would, like, in elementary school, you can sometimes get, like, bad papers, or like a parent teacher conference or something like that. I don't even, like, just like a paper sent home, and your parent has to sign it to let the teacher know that something's going on or something like that. So I got one of those or two of those in elementary school. And I literally took advantage of my dad not knowing English. And, like, I literally went up to him and I was like, "Hey, dad, um, the teacher needs you to sign this because I don't know what I said, but it wasn't, like, it's nothing bad or anything like that. It's nothing bad. But the paper is saying something happened, like something happened or something." So really, like, I would have him sign it, and he signed it, and I got away with it. And I finally told him, like, I told him like a year ago or something. I, like, told them, I was like, I would take advantage of you not speaking English for my school papers. And so the papers that were bad, I would give them to you, to my dad, to sign it. And the papers that were good, I would give it to my mom to sign it. And oh my god, dude, my mom was like, dude, my mom wanted to slap me in that moment. Like, that's how Mexican she is. She still, like, sees me as a little girl. She still wants to, like, correct me or something like that. Um, I had this conversation years ago with this friend of mine. I told her, I was like, dude, uh, like, like there's a lot of different Mexican families out there. Um, my family is so family oriented. Literally, I grew up with my grandma taking care of us, me and my little brother, and, like, at 21, I had a breakdown, and I confessed it to someone, and I was like, oh my god, like, my mom isn't my mom. My mom is my grandma, which is my mom's mom. It would break my mom's heart for her to hear me call her mom my mom, because it just breaks hearts. Like, that's really our life. Like, my mom didn't have a choice. My mom had to go to work and to take care of three kids. It's, I can't even imagine the stress and the pain and the money that you need to feed and take care of three kids. Like, my mom wasn't documented when I was born. And fun fact about me, literally, my mom didn't know how to speak good English when I was born. So I have just one last name versus other Mexicans. They have they have like 2 3 last names, but I only have one last name because my mom told the nurse, she was like, she told her my full name, and the nurse only wrote my first and last name. And my mom, and then by the time she was able to leave the hospital with me, she told the nurse, she was like, "Hey, I said that she's missing a name, like, she's missing a last name. How can you put it in?" And then the nurse was like, "Oh, it was a different nurse." She was like, "Oh, you can't. I can't put it in for you. You have to go to court, and you have to file, and blah blah blah, and then they'll see if they can give it to you." And she was like, "Court, like, file, like, no, like, and she didn't say it, but she's like, "I'm undocumented. I can't go. Like, I'm not gonna go to court. I'm not gonna, like, if she's like that, then she's like that. Like, whatever." And she, like, runs off. Like, I'd be sitting down thinking, like, damn, like, my life versus my mom's life, it's not a race, and it's not a competition, and it's nothing like that. But it really, like, I'm not from Mexico. And growing up Mexican American, mi mamá me decía, "Quita esas negreras, no estés escuchando esa música de negros, y no estés, no te juntes con los negros." And dude, you know what? Like, my parents, I know people are gonna be like, "What? Like, why are your parents racist?" or something like that. My parents don't mean to be racist. If you think about it, my mom and dad never, they grew up in Mexico. They're born and raised in Mexico. They don't see black people. Like at the in the 80s, like in the 70s, 80s, 90s, there were no black people in Mexico. Now there's a lot. Now there's actually like a few numbers and stuff like that. There's like Cubanos that are moving in there and stuff like that. There's different people that live in Mexico. There's a lot of diversity in Mexico right now. But back then, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, no. Like not one person. Like there was only Mexicans, only Mexicans. They didn't see white people. They never saw a white person living there or anything like that. They didn't see anything like that. And so like up until about like 4 years ago, I was like, damn, like why does my mom like, she would always say that growing up. She'd be like, don't be listening to black people music. Don't be listening to hip hop and don't be listening to that and stuff like that. And I'm like, girl, like you should just mind, like I used to like, fight her and stuff like that. But now that I'm old, like I realize like she like like you, what's Tupac? Like what's hip hop and what's rap, and why is everybody like jamming out to that? Like why? And it's just, that's where we from. Like we're from out here, like west side and west coast and all that stuff. That's where we're from. And so it's just crazy. Like, it's just crazy. What else can I say? Growing up Mexican American, I was treated differently than my cousins. My male cousins were allowed to do whatever they wanted. They could go out with whoever they wanted. They could do whatever they want. They could whatever they wanted. They could do. The females couldn't do that. Literally, I have a couple female cousins that have ran away from home, and they. I shouldn't even say that. But yeah, also growing up Mexican American, I wasn't allowed to participate in school activities. I wasn't allowed to do too much at school with extracurricular, like fun. I couldn't do fun things because I had to be responsible for my little brother. My mom would clown on me. She would literally make fun of me. She was like, I was like, Mom, I want to have fun. And she'd be like, fun? You think I had fun growing up? You think I had this? You think I had that? And you think this and that? And you think that? I never had a summer. I never had this. I never had that. And I was like, dude, okay, like, literally, that's so sad because that's called generational trauma. What she said, I remember like her breaking my heart and being like, oh, alístate mañana porque vas a ir a trabajar conmigo. And I was literally like 12 years old, and I was like, work? I'm not gonna go to work. I have summer. I have a summer to like get started and stuff like that. And she was literally like, summer? She was like, what's summer? And I was like, es el verano. Yo tengo un verano. Like, it's like, I'm not gonna go to work. Like, why would I go to work? I'm not gonna go to work. Like, work is like older stuff. Like, no. She was like, what the hell? I started working at the age of this, and I started doing this at the age of this, and I've been this and I've been that. So, that, like, it's just like, I don't want people seeing this and being like, what are you like, so your mom's mean or your mom's that. Unfortunately, like, my mom was trying to teach me hard work, and she was trying to teach me work ethic, but she had no other way of teaching. She just didn't know how to deal with me. Like, if you knew how I acted growing up, you would see why my parents were like, oh my god, this little girl needs to be worked. This little girl needs to start cleaning and start doing stuff, because the way she's acting, I thought I saw someone behind me. Oh my god. Oh my god, I thought I saw a shadow, dude. I literally thought I saw a shadow. Like, what the fuck? I thought I saw, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. But yeah, I was like, it's just hard because Latinos work at a very young age. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter like where you come from or anything. You can ask your Latino classmates, your Latino friends. You can ask them. You can, dude. Literally, I grew up going to the Walmart, and like other Mexican women would approach my mom and me, and they'll be like, "Hey, estoy vendiendo tamales. Vendo esto y vendo lo otro." Literally in the parking lots, like In the parking lots, there's Mexican women with their kids in the vans and the trucks and stuff like that. Pero están vendiendo tortas, están vendiendo tamales, están vendiendo, like, I don't know what they're selling, but they're selling something for you, and they can help you out or something like that. It's just crazy. Like, I saw that growing up. People admire my work ethic, and people ask how I'm so confident, and people ask like certain questions about my life. Well, I was just raised Mexican. I was literally raised this way. Growing up Mexican American, I am so lucky that I never burnt the house down growing up because I would be left alone. Before my, like, eventually there was like a space in time where my grandma like wasn't there to take care of me. So like my mom would tell me, she was like, don't turn on the stove. It was literally like I was 8 years old or 9 years old. I was in the third grade. So like literally, how old are you in the third grade? I don't know. But I was in third grade, and there was a space and time where my grandma couldn't take care of me. And so my mom told me, she was like, cook yourself a bagel. Not cook yourself a bagel, but heat up a bagel if you want. Anything hot, just put it in the oven. But other than that, don't turn on the stove. And you're going to walk yourself to school because the school was right there down the street. It's not like down there down the street, but like for an adult's eyes, it's like down there down the street, but not through a kid's eyes. And so, like I would literally walk and back, like walk to school and back from school, like after school in the third grade, all through the third grade. And I never burnt the house down because I and I say I never burnt the house down because I didn't listen to my mom. I eventually got tired of cereal and bagel and like a sandwich or whatever. So I wanted like hot things to eat. I wanted like a maruchan, like sopa de maruchan. I wanted one of those. And so I would cook myself a soup, like a maruchan soup. And I never burnt myself. I never caused an accident. I never burnt the house down. And thank God I never did, because if I did, dude, child services would have been all up on my mom. And it wasn't even her fault, dude. She had to go to work. I can honestly see that. Like, it's so hard. Like, it's like my mom would leave me in the car sometimes by herself. My mom would sometimes, like, there was no babysitter. So, okay. People ask me why I'm so independent or how I'm so independent. I got left alone a lot. I got left alone so much, dude. Like, it was so bad. Like, I somehow made it work inside my head with my imagination and, like, I don't know what in my head. But I have memories of before the third grade. I have memories of being left alone in the car. But it was at my mom's work, and she had to go to work. And I would be left alone for about like 3 hours or something like that. She would come back out or something. But yeah, this is how I grew up. I grew up eventually. My dad taught me how to work. My mom handled me for like a year or so, like maybe like a couple of months. But then she passed me over to my dad. She was like, I can't deal with her. You have to deal with her. She's your daughter. Deal with her. And so my dad taught me how to work. My dad, which is a man, he taught me how to clean houses. And yeah, he taught me how to clean houses. It's just so hard, like, like, it's just so hard being Mexican American because I don't know, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. We were also so poor. We were so poor that we didn't celebrate holidays. We were so poor. We didn't celebrate holidays. We didn't celebrate like birthdays. We did not celebrate birthdays. I barely started celebrating my birthday when I moved out. Yeah. When I moved out, I started celebrating the holidays and birthdays and stuff like that. So I'm excited for that. What else? What else can I say? I grew up watching Sábado Gigante. Like, you know how white people watch Saturday Night Live? Well, there's a Mexican version. It's called Sábado Gigante. It's Don Francisco presenta Sábado Gigante. What else? I never saw Como 4 News or Cairo 7 News. Never. We only watched the American news when there was snowfall, and like literally like the kids would be going to school, which was me and my little brother and like my sister. And so like like that's when we opened the TV. No, we turned on the TV to watch the news to see if like school's gonna be canceled with 2 hour delay or something. But other than that, my mom and dad watched Univision, Primer Impacto. Mi papá le gusta el fútbol, le gusta sus Pumas, sus Chivas. What else? My mom, like literally, like I grew up watching novelas with my mom. I grew up watching Amor Real, Destinando Amor. Yo soy tu dueña. No, soy tu. What is this? Yo soy tu dueña. Soy tu dueña. Um, yeah, like I don't know what else. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. What else can I say? Well, I didn't have my first childhood dog until I was I didn't have my first dog until I was like 13. Because literally my dad was like, no perros en la casa. Yo no quiero perros en la casa. Esto es mi casa. Y quién sabe qué tanto. Y la 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 la. And so, which means there's no dogs allowed in the house. Like, I literally wanted like that childhood dog. I wanted like the best friend dog and all that stuff. Like the family dog. And my dad was like, there's no dogs allowed inside the house. I don't understand this fascination. I don't understand why Americans, like, hasta el perro duerme con ellos en la cama. ¿Qué es eso? Like, cosa asquerosa, cosa de vómito y eso lo otro. Cosa que da asco, ¿era? And so, and so that means like literally, why do Americans sleep with dogs in their bed? Like, what is that? And like kisses on their face and all that stuff. Like, what is that? Like, oh my god, and stuff like that. And literally, dude, when I went to Mexico and I saw like how dogs were treated in Mexico, literally in Mexico, a dog is to guard your house, take care of your things, and that's it. Like, dude, Dobermans in Mexico are real killers. I have seen Rottweilers, I've seen Pit Bulls, I've seen Dobermans. They're real killing machines. They have no soul, they have no heart, they have no brain to tell they literally, I'm so sorry, but those dogs in Mexico, I've been bitten by a dog in Mexico. Literally, my first time going there, I got bit by one because I just didn't believe my parents, like, on like the animals there, and the animals in my country, they're real animals, okay? They're not pets. The animals in my country, they're not pets. They're animals. And so so I didn't get it. I was like, dude, shut up. Like, you don't, like, they all have souls and they all have hearts and stuff like that. Not those ones, okay? Not those ones in Mexico. They're I've seen scorpions. Like, the first time I saw a scorpion, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, it was gonna kill me, and my aunt killed the scorpion before it got me. Like, I don't even know why I'm laughing. I laughed because like I didn't even know it was a scorpion. I didn't even know what I was seeing. I was like shocked or something, and then my aunt like she jumped in with her chancla and she was whooping it, dude. She was like, she killed it. She killed it. And it was literally so small. The scorpion was so small, and that's what's dangerous. The smaller the scorpion is, the more dangerous it's gonna be. Like, the more, like, literally not even dangerous. Like, the more at risk that you die. Oh my god. Yeah. What else can I say? I've asked my mom, I was like, hey, all the other Mexicans, they hang out in California first, or they live in California and they move up to the north or something like that. Why did we move up so far up north? Because I live in Washington State, and that's where I grew up my life. And and so I was just like, I asked my mom, I was like, why are we here or something like that? Like, versus like in other states there's more Mexicans, and we're like, so far away from like our family members and stuff. And she told me the truth. She said, we moved all the way up here because there was so many opportunities for work. There was so many jobs and there was so much space. She stayed with one of my aunts, but it's the sister to her mom, so it's like, more of her aunt, but it's still my aunt. And so, like, and literally, like, she had Lisette, which is my older sister. She had her as a baby, and my aunt her aunt told her, she was like, why don't you stay with us? Why don't you cancel the plans in Washington and stay here? We can find you work. you can stay here, we'll be fine with you, and you can eventually find your own house and stuff like that. We got you, we can take care of you, and we'll help you. And my dad decided, and literally it's really hard. Like, my mom is from that time where she was like, well, Adolfo, which was my dad, she was like, Adolfo decides for us. My husband decided we're going up north. Up north is where it's at. Like, up north is, he's already got plans for us and stuff like that. Yeah. Dude, my mom is literally like from that time where women really couldn't do anything for themselves except for, take care of the house and like have kids, and that's their life. That's the way it was back then. That literally, my dad taught my mom how to drive, and it was stick shift back then. And so he was teaching her how to drive, and she couldn't understand and she couldn't get it. And literally, my dad was like, either you learn how to drive or you're gonna walk. You're gonna walk in, you're gonna walk out, and you're gonna deal with the rain, you're gonna deal with the cold. It snows up here. So either you drive, because I'm not gonna be taking you to work. I can't take you to work. I gotta go to work too. So, and we only got what, like one car or something like that, like whatever. And my mom was like, I'll learn how to drive eventually, but right now I can't. I don't get it. And so literally, like, everything that my mom is, my dad taught her, because she didn't have a dad growing up. Literally, it goes back to her roots. Like, she grew up with no dad because her dad would be in Texas. He was one of those migrant workers that he had special permission to be traveling from Texas to Mexico every once in a while. And he would send money back there, back from Texas to Mexico. So my mom, my mom grew up with her mom, but no dad. So yeah, my dad, uh, my dad came to the U.S. the first time when he was 17, and so yeah, and then that's how he told my mom. He was like, "Oh, in the U.S. we can." How we came up here, how my family decided to settle out here was because my dad told my mom. He was like, "Hey, what we can do is we can just go for 2 years. As illegals, we'll just go hang out there for 2 years, and with the money that we make, we'll come back and we'll live good." And within the 2 years, I came along, and then they saw that how well the hospitals were, and they saw that Washington State wasn't really that bad compared to the other states with the racism and the deportation and stuff like that. So they're like, why don't we just stick around and like wait to see what's good, like eventually the kids will grow up and we'll take them to Mexico with us. But that never happened. My dad got his residency with my mom. They got their residency, and then eventually when I became a teenager in middle school, my parents filed for citizenship and the American citizenship. Sus papeles, arreglaron sus papeles, pasaron el examen, they passed the exam, and they made it. And they're American citizens. So we're all American citizens now. Yeah. My dad was so happy. Like, literally, he was so happy. He was like, we're all American citizens now. Like, we're all American citizens. Like, nobody and nothing can tear us apart now. Nobody can, like, mess with us now. Certain people make fun of me because I don't look Mexican, or they say so, or they're like, "Oh, you're not Mexican, you're American. You're not from Mexico. You're born here, so you're not Mexican, you're American." I don't know. When I go to Mexico, my family out there, like certain family members, they don't really like me. They make fun of my accent in Spanish. Cuando yo hablo español, yo tengo acento. And so and I actually think in English. I actually I grew up speaking Spanish. My first language was Spanish, but over the years I speak English. I think in English. I really think in English. I feel in English, and sometimes Spanish comes in. Sometimes I feel in Spanish, and then the English comes in. So I don't know. I just want to let people know that I'm not afraid and I'm not embarrassed. I used to be embarrassed to be Mexican American. I just wanted to be American. I wanted to be just white. but I'm cool with it now. Like, we're fine on this side. I love seeing the representation that's coming along, and I know that the change starts within. I know that growing up, I felt so out of place and I felt so embarrassed about my curly hair. And I'm tall for a Mexican woman. I'm very tall. So the other Mexican girls make fun of me. They'll be like, "You're not Mexican because you're too tall." And I'm like, "Okay, well then I'll just go hang out with the basketball players. Then like I like basketball players too, so why not go hang out with them?" Like at the end of the day, I got the last laugh because like it's cool now. Like it's all good now. Like there's so much more representation. There's so much more um like knowledge. There's more people coming out and about every single day, and it's up to us to embrace each other and embrace ourselves to make the change. So yeah, I hope this video was good for you guys. I know this felt really good to finally let it all out, like the way I grew up, and I'm happy. I used to feel a little weird and stuff like that, but it is what it is. My parents didn't have a handbook. My parents didn't have my parents did the best they could. I can see that now. They really did the best they could. And the best they did was truly the best they did. And I truly love them for them. They did it. And I'm happy for them. I was hard on them growing up because I didn't get it. I didn't understand anything. I didn't understand. And they didn't understand me. And now I get that in a million years, we never could have understood each other. It's just, we're never going to understand each other. But with maturity and with the years, maybe we'll be able to see somewhat, some way, some light. But yeah. Hope you guys have a great day. Stay safe out there. Whatever language you speak, don't forget it. Keep practicing. No matter if anyone makes fun of you on both sides. If you can't speak it right because you have an accent, or because you forget a couple of words, or you have a difficult time like switching back and forth with the languages in between, don't worry about it. We all struggle with that. Every single one of us. Doesn't even matter it doesn't even matter which nationality it is, or what race we come from, or what country we come from. We all have our own struggles, and it's time that we embrace our struggles, and it's time to be vocal about our struggles. Stop hiding your struggles. So it's not cool to like broadcast the struggle or something like that, but maybe talking about your struggle will help someone else feel not so lonely out here. Yeah, I hope I didn't stutter too much, and I hope I kept it well. I hope I kept it real. Whatever. It's Michelada G up in the building. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you comment. Let me know where you're from. Let me know what language you thinking. Let me know I'm not crazy. And let me know that I really am here for you. I'm here for you guys. Oh my god, I'm not here for you guys. I'm more here for me. But yeah. So yeah, take care. I love you. No, I don't.